Utah politics.
We turn now to the next generation for our panel discussion on the future of the Republican Party. For that, we have Utah County Clerk Amelia Powers Gardner and former Utah GOP Vice Chair Aaron Starks. Great to have both of you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start off with the state of the Republican Party. I'd like to hear from both of you how you define that at this time. We have state parties across the country, specifically North Carolina, Arizona, Pennsylvania come to mind, who are censuring elected officials. We have polls that continue to show former President Trump with a large backing in the Republican Party. Amelia, let's start with you. How do you define the state of your party as we speak?
I think the state of the party is growing and vibrant. We saw great gains at the state level. Even the House of Representatives, people expected the Democrats to make gains, but they didn't. We actually won seats in the Republican Party in Congress, as well as right here in Salt Lake County. For the first time in a decade, we have a veto-proof majority on the county council. I think we're growing.
Aaron, let's get your thoughts. The state of the Republican Party right now.
Well, I think there's really two parties. There's the national party and there's the Utah party. On the national front, I would say we're very fragmented and divided, evidenced by Senator Murkowski in Alaska. The Republican Party wants to censor her now. We're seeing that more and more Republicans are coming forth and not supporting Donald Trump. We're seeing that there's a lot of fragmentation. Here on a state level, we're seeing that that's absolutely the case with a broken caucus system. Many people are very frustrated that the party's not more inclusive. I think we need to unite, and I think that there's a way to do that.
Amelia, I'd like to get your thoughts specifically on the censures we're seeing from state parties across the country. Is that appropriate in your point of view?
I think we need to focus on being an inclusive party. I think the statement released by our state party chair, Derek Brown, was fantastic. It showed that we in the Republican Party, we value individuals, we value individual opinions, and we don't subscribe to cancel culture or groupthink. I think we need to be more inclusive.
Aaron, let's move to the road ahead now. I want to hit on something you talked about, those who have become disenfranchised as a result of the former president. You don't have to look any further than Utah to see that Republicans in our state, by significant numbers, when you take a look at the vote in November, turned against him. He should have done better than 58% in the state of Utah. So how does the party remain relevant in attracting all types in the party?
Great question, and one that I've thought a lot about. I would answer that one by focusing on economic development here in the state. We know that over the past 19 years, the state of Utah has grown by an average of 58,000 people. That's an annual basis. That's like adding the city of Logan 19 times over. Okay? Our current infrastructure as a party does not support growth like that. Therefore, the process is not inclusive. Okay? If you take the area where I live in South Jordan, Utah, it's hard to find space that would support a caucus meeting that would support 2,000 people in my precinct. It won't happen. On top of that, 2 years ago, when I was elected vice chairman of our state party, the party was almost $500,000 in debt. You are perpetually campaigning and fundraising just to keep the party relevant, and with 53,000 people coming to the state, mainly from California and neighboring states in the first place, we don't have the infrastructure to educate them, to make the process inclusive by inviting them to, and also to help them understand why this is important. Therefore, we need to innovate and we need to change. On a national front, we need to focus on ideas and not people. We are not the party of ego. We are not the party of demagoguery. We are not the party of hate. Republicans are known for ideas. We are progressive. We have to get back to our principles, and we have to be pragmatic if we're going to unite and redefine the future for our party.
Amelia, your thoughts on those who may have become disenfranchised over the last couple of years and remaining relevant to them?
Yeah, I think what's important to note is that the Republican Party is not a party about a personality. It's a party about principles. It's a party that represents the working Americans. It's the party that wants more money in their pockets, higher wages, and better health care through opportunity. I think Congressman John Curtis has done a fantastic job of showing us that if we focus on the issues that people care about, like he has the environment, you can stay true to your conservative principles, but represent the issues that people care about, and we will grow our party if we do that.
At the top, though, over the last 4 years, certainly, there has been a lot driven by personality. So as you look to the next 4 years, which are an important time within your party, who would you like to see rise to carry the mantle?
I think we have some great examples right here in Utah. Chairman Derek Brown, he got the party out of debt, focused on elections, focused on issues and principles, and we've seen great wins here. We also have Congressman Curtis, who I mentioned. Nationally, I would love to see Nikki Haley. She's a strong conservative woman who can articulate her views, has served in the military. I think these are the examples we need. Leaders who get things done and represent working America.
Aaron, your thoughts on who will rise to be the standard bearer for the party over the next 4 years?
You know, I'd like to echo those sentiments. I think we need ideas at the forefront of everything that we're doing if we're going to redefine our direction. There are a lot of names that come to mind. John Curtis certainly being one of them. Very grateful for his service to our state. I also like Marco Rubio. I think Marco Rubio has the ability to govern from the middle, to hear both voices. I tell you what, people in my generation, my age, are less concerned about partisan politics and more concerned about a dying infrastructure, a broken immigration system, and deficit spending that is at historic highs. And if we're going to protect the next generation of this country, we need a leader who's going to focus on problem solving and less about infighting, and especially party infighting.
Okay, as I mentioned at the top of the segment, recent polls, we've seen them from Quinnipiac and Gallup recently, still show that the president is very popular and has a strong base, or the former president, I should say, has a strong base in the Republican Party. Do you want to see him be the nominee again in 2024?
I do not, no. I think the party, I think the country is better than Donald Trump. He doesn't represent the best of our American way, our values, and frankly, he doesn't represent the best of the Republican Party. Again, we need somebody who's going to push the needle in these areas that matter most. After 4 years, the national deficit is higher, our national debt is higher, we're no closer to fixing abortion, our immigration system is more broken than it was 4 years ago. We are about free-thinking, enterprising principles that will govern and lead us forward. This is not the party of Lincoln. Look at the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. That has not been perpetuated and carried into the 21st century. And Donald Trump certainly does not resonate with people who are traditionally Republican.
Amelia, your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think that our generation is really looking for three things moving forward. Number one, we want an inclusive party. We want a party like Utah has, where we have one senator that voted yes and one that voted no on impeachment, and we respect both of them. We want leaders that focus on issues, and we want leaders that solve problems. We're less concerned about a partisan win than we are about actually making progress and moving forward in solving these issues: infrastructure, the economy, and the environment.
Okay, we have a minute left, so we'll split it evenly, about 30 seconds each. Your generation, the millennials, what role will you play in Republican leadership in the near future? Aaron, let's start with you.
Well, millennials are, as I said, 1 in 5 28-year-olds still live in their parents' basement here in the United States. That's because we have an economy that doesn't support innovation. It's not fast moving. We're seeing that the world around us is moving a lot faster than we are because we can't get our act together in Washington, D.C. The future of our party, specifically the next generation of leadership, they have to be people that have ideas and are willing to overcome differences, willing to communicate, willing to seek first to understand, the ability to empathize with those who think different. That's the value of America. It's the backbone of who we are.
All right, Amelia, the last 30 seconds are yours. What role do you see your generation playing in party leadership?
First, we need to bring the solutions. We need to be a solutions-oriented party, and we need to bring action. I transformed our office from the epicenter of dysfunction to a model for the country by bringing in the solutions, and that's what we want from our leaders: the issues that matter and the solutions, and that's what we can bring as a generation.
Okay, very interesting conversation. Appreciate both of you for contributing. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Glenn.
You.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Inside Utah Politics right after the break.